Welcome to this new video on Forza Horizon 5. As you probably already know, the game is coming to PlayStation 5 on April 25, 2025, and with this arrival on PlayStation 5, I think there are a lot of players who are going to play a Forza for the first time, since it is indeed the first time in the history of video games that a Forza is available on PlayStation. So, given that there are going to be lots of new players on the game, today, I'm offering you a little guide in which I'm going to summarize all the tips, all the little things to know about Forza Horizon 5. We'll start at the beginning. I'll let you discover the map on your own to avoid spoilers. There are still two things I wanted to show you. These are two houses. In Forza Horizon 5, players can purchase houses, each providing a permanent in-game bonus upon acquisition. There are two houses in the game that I really recommend you buy if you are a new player. The first one, it's going to be this one, the Castillo Hotel, which you will find in the north of the map. It's a hotel that will give you a bonus. A free draw every day where you will play the game The Draws. We will talk about it a little bit later in this video. But it's a kind of Wheel of Fortune that you can activate and which will reward you either a new car or money or clothes for your character. So it's very interesting, depending on the term, to buy this house there. And we have a second one, which is very interesting. It's going to be this one, Buenas Vistas. Why? Because it's bonus, it's going to be the instant trip, what they call the instant trip. It's simply teleportation. And once you have bought this house, you will be able to teleport anywhere on the map. So there, for example, if I want to teleport here, I can thanks to the house. I still add some details as I go. Note that teleportation in the game is a paid feature by default. You are going to pay with in-game credits. But you will be able to reduce the cost of this teleportation and get it to the point where it's free. By finding the famous bonus panels, the bonus panels, there are two forms of them. Destroy the small blue panels with the XP logo to progress. Each time you destroy a panel with the XP logo, you will advance. You will get an XP boost that will allow you to level up faster. Conversely, you'll find the iconic blue panels with the lightning bolt on them. These are the teleportation panels, and as you go on, you will destroy them by driving into them. The cost of teleportation will reduce, and once you have 250 panels, teleportation will simply be free. Something to know about Forza Horizon 5. It's that absolutely everything you see in the game. The cars, the clothes, the customizations, the houses, all of that, it's paid for. It's paid for with the game's credits that you're going to earn by doing challenges. So, of course, in a few days, I'm going to do a little tutorial to do a little summary of all the best farm methods, which will be useful if you are a new player on PlayStation 5. But while waiting for this little tutorial, I still wanted to share with you some little tips about the Wheelspin and the Super Wheelspin. So, the famous draws. Since, in fact, everything you are going to do in the game will earn you wheel spins. Whether it's collecting cars, racing, leveling up, or simply logging into the game, you will earn these famous draws. You will find them by starting and going to the My Horizon menu, and here you will have the draws and super draws. So, as I was telling you, the draws. You can have at least one a day. If you buy the house that I showed you earlier, then I will show you what it looks like. We're going to do one here and I have plenty in stock. I still have 55 after that, so you see here, for example, I catch. Credits can range from 45,000 to 1 million or more, with some cars costing up to 60 million in the game. What you need to know is that when you have cars, you're going to win. If you already have this car in stock, then I'm going to try to show you that. To illustrate, the game will offer you to sell it instantly. In this example, the game awards me a 1971 Nissan Skyline, 2,204.62 pounds, TE Ori. I already own the car, so I can sell it for 30,000 credits. That's worth noting. You can directly exchange your cars for credits, with some worth up to 60 million, providing a significant cash boost. There are also super wheel spins in the game, so the super wheel spins, you're going to win a lot of them too. Maybe a little less than normal draws, but you're going to have them quite often. You should know that on the game, especially if you have taken the very important person subscription, every week you will have 2 super draws offered by the game. To retrieve it, go to the Horizon Month menu and the Message Center menu. By the way, know that in the Gift tab, you will also regularly get free cars from the game developers. For example, the Lamborghini Huracan STO or the Ford RSRX Gymkhana. So, all you have to do is download the message, whether it's for the super draws or for the cars, or for the backstage passes, for example, and it will automatically be added to your account. So, I'll show you what a super draw is just to list a little bit. For the new players, it's simply a 3 draw in which you will have 3 rewards. The rewards are not necessarily better, It's just that you get more at once. We then obviously have the famous festival selection system, on which the whole game is based. Every month, the seasons will change. Summer, fall, winter, spring, with a common theme. For instance, this month's theme is Takeover. In Horizon Wild, you earn rewards for every activity you complete in the game. So here, in the Championship tab, these will be the rewards that you're going to get over the course of the season. Actually, each thing you're going to complete will bring points. Points will accumulate week to week and month long, giving you access to rewards. As you can see in the bottom left corner of the screen, it says 10 points. If I complete this test, I will earn those 10 points, which will accumulate over my week and my month. If I score 80 points this month, I will receive either the Subaru 22B or the Syrah 700RR as a gift. In addition to the monthly rewards, there are also weekly rewards. In the game, it's currently winter. Scoring 20 points this week unlocks the Polaris RZR, while 40 points unlocks a pass. Horizon Backstage. We'll discuss it shortly. Apart from rewards earned from points, there are also rewards gained by completing specific challenges. Completing the Challenge Lab unlocks 3 festival selection points and the Unigan F150 car. This one unlocks the Audi Quattro. So, there are a lot of rewards to be obtained through the festival selection. What needs to be clarified is that the cars that have the little yellow sign well hidden. These are cars that you can only get through the championship system. These are cars that you will not be able to buy elsewhere. So, let's say that it's really these cars that you should aim for as a reward. Since the rest anyway, you will be able to pay for them with credits. Different season themes in the game. We have had more than 40 since its release. There has been one per month. The developers announced they won't have any further news. But there is something you need to know. As a new player or as a Forza Horizon 5 player, you can vote in the Vote tab for the selection for the next season. The votes of all the players in the community are added up. And if, for example, the majority of players vote for the theme on the left, which is here, Cinco de Mayo, next month at the championship, the Horizon Wilds Takeover theme will be replaced by the Cinco de Mayo theme, featuring new rewards associated with the event. Even without new seasons, the game already has around 40 different ones, providing a significant amount of content to explore. Part of the content will be the famous car passes and Horizon Backstage passes. You can unlock these passes by reaching 40 points per week. As you see here, it's the little pass with the H in the little purple square. And these passes, in fact, you will be able to use them. Right here at the Horizon Backstage next to the base game festival. We're going to teleport there now. If I access it, I can do 2 things. Either use the passes I already have. So, there, I have 2. Yeah, that's it, I have 2, and I can unlock. So, any car that you have found in this bonus dealership. Knowing that in this bonus dealership, in fact, there are only super rare cars. There are only cars with the famous little well-hidden card. These are cars from old rewards, selection, and festivals that are nearly exclusive to this method. So there is a dealership with all these cars. So there are new cars that are regularly added to this dealership, new cars, old updates. And you should know that you can choose which cars will be added to the Special Cars dealership. Thanks to the small Backstage Vote tab, you can use a vote. So either choose the 2 cars on the right or the 2 on the left. And here, it's the same. It will count all the votes from the community and it will add the cars voted the most by the community. I'm sharing a final general tip before we delve into the main topic, which is still the automobile. It's going to be the distinctions. To get them, you're going to press Start and then go to the Distinctions tab. The distinctions. The game has an integrated success system where everything you do counts towards earning distinctions. Whether it's racing, collecting cars, taking photos, everything is counted and everything is divided into categories. For example, you're going to have distinctions that concern road racing, that concern the game's history, radars, and also the creative mode. Each section will contain several tabs that you can browse through by pressing right bumper and left bumper. For example, here, I have the Photo tab, the Test Lab tab, and the Superset tab. Each tab will contain a varying number of challenges, represented by small squares. The description of the challenge will be on the left, providing the necessary steps to complete it. For example, here, take your first photo in photo mode, and the reward will be displayed at the bottom of this small rectangle. So, for example, here it's 50 stars, the stars. You can see at the top right of the screen that I have 947, 800. and it's, let's say, the festival experience. To progress in Festival for the Horizon, unlock new chapters, and expand the game, you must earn stars. You'll definitely make distinctions to progress in the game. But what's also cool is that some challenges will give you, as a reward, cars, for example. Here, I photographed 200 different cars, and the reward was a Porsche 911 Gran Turismo 2 RS. So there are plenty of cars that you can get for free through this means. You should know that as soon as you complete a distinction, it will be displayed on the small logo of the section that you have rewards to collect. So either the gift logo, which means that you have rewards, like XP or Wheelspin, for example, to grab, or the small circle with a car inside, for example, I have 2, and that means I have 2 cars to unlock, for free. So you should know that there are still some super cool cars that you can get for free through this system. For example here, the Lotus Evira. There is one that is still pretty cool too. Wait for me to find it. I know we can get, here it is, a Bugatti Veyron Supersport. Simply by participating in 20 games of Eliminator mode. So there are really big free rewards. As mentioned, we'll discuss the core aspect. The car, as it's still a racing game focused on car racing. So, what you need to know already is that each car in the game belongs to a performance category. What I mean by that is if I look at my Alpine, my current car for example, the car belongs to Category A with a performance index of 794 as shown in the top left. So, each car belongs to a category. There are about 850 different cars in the game. This category includes models like the S900, A800, and X999. You will be able to change it and make it evolve by improving your car. Knowing that the least performing class is Category 500, so here, these are really the slowest cars in the game and the fastest class. It's Category 10, so that's the most cheated cars. Multiplayer has no events in Category 10 highest is S2. Category 10 is for those who want the fastest cars while playing solo, but it's uncommon in multiplayer. So you will be able to improve the performance of each car. Even if you buy a Category 500 car, there's a chance it could reach a higher category like B, A, or S. Not all cars can go up to S2 or 10. Almost all the cars in the game can go up to A or 1. Your performance index will be linked to your car. For instance, in the S1 category, which stops at 900, I'm going to have cars that are at 900, but I have cars here that are, for example, at 887 or 878. What you're going to try to do overall in the game by improving your cars is to have a round number to really be at the top of a category. In 10, the max is 999. In S2, it's 998. 900, 800B is 700. 600 is 600 and 500 is 500. The goal will be to optimize your performance parts to either reach 500 in Category 500 or 600 in 600, etc., etc. I think you understand the principle. Why? For example, if you start a multiplayer or solo race in Category A, all cars up to 800 performance points in that category are allowed. If your car is not optimized in the category, such as the 730 category, it will fall between 700 and 800. Your car will be less efficient and less optimized than a player who has put it in 800. And even if you have a car in 730, you could come up against artificial intelligence or players who are in 800 in the same category. So, the goal is really going to be to optimize your performance index. To reach these famous values, these famous round numbers, which are simply the peak of each performance class. So, to improve your car, you are an improvement in tuning, and then you have 2 ways. Either you go in auto improvement if you are too lazy to choose the parts yourself. And there, the game will offer you different performance categories in which it can put your car. You just have to choose and then buy the parts by pressing the buy button, or you prefer to choose the parts yourself. And so now, you have access to pretty much all the technical aspects of the car. So, overall, that's what I advise you to do, because the game with the auto upgrade system, in general, it's a bit of a mess. It's rarely very efficient. I advise upgrading your car yourself. You don't need to be a mechanic to understand the improvements. What you're going to look at above all are the car's statistics, since there, you're going to have different data. For instance, the speed is 7.8 and 5.7. All of this, these are the performance values of the car that you will be able to switch by pressing Y on your controller. And what will be interesting in most categories, let's say up to S2, so This concerns almost 99% of the cars in the game. It will still be about trying to have the closest possible values, to have the most balanced values, forgetting the off-road value, because it is useless. Here, I have a car with worse braking at 4.2 while the 7.8. The goal is to minimize the difference between the various values as much as possible. So what I usually do and what works most of the time, even on the game, for that to really improve a car, it's to start by improving its platform and its handling, which you will find here. By improving the brakes, then improving everything that will be spring and shock absorber, and then the lightning. Then, once that's done, generally, I improve the transmission by putting the race gearbox in order to be able to adjust it afterwards, and what I also do is that I improve the tires. So not necessarily the race gums directly, because it's not necessarily the most interesting. It depends on the performance categories you want to play in, but at least the road gums, or the sport gums. And then, of course, it will leave me more or less margin on my performance index, and for the remaining margin. If I want to reach, for example, 800, well, I'm going to improve the engine of my car in order to really optimize the car in the category. Once you've improved your car well, you'll then be able to adjust the parts you're going to install. This significantly alters the game, particularly if you aim to play multiplayer and maximize your winning chances. Because, believe it or not, there's a big difference between a car that's well adjusted and a car that's not adjusted, so it's the same. I created a detailed tutorial explaining what each slider changes. Please watch that video for more information. You can still improve two things in most cases to give yourself a small base. It's going to be, in the spring tab, the ground clearance, you can generally put it as low as possible. It will slightly improve the wheel grip. And the second thing, it's in the ratio tab, that's going to be the gearbox of your car. There is one thing that generally works quite well. Even though, obviously, there are case-by-case situations, there are little exceptions. It's to optimize your acceleration and your VMAX, so your top speed of your car. You can adjust the slider at the bottom of the screen, which modifies the little white lines. And what I advise you is to try to make sure that the line furthest to the right, so here, it should be the 7th line. If I'm not mistaken, it should really be in the top right corner of the small grid that is just below. This typically provides a car with a more optimized gearbox compared to the base model. To fully optimize it, you'd need to spend time properly adjusting it. Remember, you have the option to avoid any hassle by adjusting the settings. Download settings from other players by going to Find Settings. You can then press the Select button on your controller and then choose the different setting criteria for your car. For example, if you want a car in S2 or 10, if you want a car more for top speed, more for drift. You will be able to set different criteria and then search for your setting, and you will then have a small description of the setting in question with its statistics. What will it change? And you will just have to press A to select the setting and then download and reinstall, and voila, you will have it. Now, there is also something else that I am going to specify about cars when you select your car. The small rectangle next to the performance index at the bottom left of the screen will show it. The letters all-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, all of that actually corresponds to the type of car transmission. Rear-wheel drive. That means it's a propulsion. It means that it's the rear wheels that push the car. Front-wheel drive is traction. It means that it's the front wheels that pull the car. All-wheel drive refers to cars in general, whether they have four-wheel drive or six-wheel drive. You should know that in the game, in the lowest performance categories, so let's say 500, 600B, A, the game's meta, the best cars are typically rear-wheel drive, or front-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. However, the highest performing cars in categories A, S1, S2, or 10 are usually all-wheel drive vehicles. When considering high-performance vehicles, I generally recommend seeking out all-wheel drive options. Knowing that there's a little subtlety, it's that, in this game, you can indeed take any front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive car and transform them into four-wheel drive. And for that, you'll need to go to the Upgrade and Tuning menu, then to the Custom Upgrade menu, Conversion, and then Drivetrain Modification. There, you can opt to put it in all-wheel drive, for instance. So that works. For almost all the cars in the game, there is obviously a meta in each category. There are cars that are more or less fast in the game. And by the way, I'm also going to make videos this week with precisely the top of the best cars in all categories. Which is why I invite you to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. That way, all the tip videos that I'm going to release this week. With all the updated meta, you will be notified of the arrival of these videos. Lastly, I want to discuss one final thing that will be incredibly helpful for you. It's going to be the difficulty setting menu and the help setting menu. This will be particularly useful for two reasons. Either if you find the game is hard, too hard, or because you want to drift. Because indeed, in the base game, there are quite a few driving aids that make drifting almost impossible. I'm going to take a rear-wheel drive car to demonstrate this to you. So, you will find a menu when you start driving by pressing the general menu Start. You will then have the option to go into the difficulty settings, so I'll show you that. Start settings and then difficulties. Adjust various game settings, including artificial intelligence difficulty up to unbeatable levels. But I don't recommend this if it's your first Forza, because the artificial intelligence are still quite fast, not unbeatable. I personally recommend leaving the ABS enabled because there's no reason to disable it. There you go. There's no world in which playing without ABS is more efficient. Even if you play with ABS enabled, you can play with progressive braking just by adjusting with your controller. So, we don't care about direction. If you play with a controller, leave it standard. If you play with a steering wheel, set it to simulation. Then, we're going to have traction control. So there, if it's enabled, the game will limit. Limit the power of your engine as you accelerate. This helps prevent burnout and skidding, while always optimizing power. So, if you activate it, the game will be easier, driving cars will be simpler, however, it will limit your car. So, it's true that there are certain acceleration phases, where a car without traction control will be faster at acceleration. And especially if you disable it. In addition to having a car with more acceleration, you will be able to skid your car and therefore drift. For stability control, if your car isn't stable or maneuverable enough, turn it on. To drift, you need to turn it off. Here, you have the gearbox, so automatic. It's the game that's really going to choose, well, that's going to shift all the gears for you. Manual, it's going to be with the buttons on your steering wheel or your controller. With a manual and clutch, you'll need to set a button on your controller or steering wheel to manage the clutch, in addition to the manual transmission. The trajectories are the lines on the ground that tell you when to brake, when to slow down, when to accelerate. Disable it initially when you're unfamiliar with the map. However, after a while, it may annoy you, and you'll likely turn it off for a more immersive experience. The damage is, therefore, none. The car does not get damaged at all. Superficial. It's just the aesthetics of the car. Simulation will include mechanical damages, such as hitting a tree or shifting gears poorly. Pushing your car to the limit will damage the engine and gearbox, making it slower. Rewind the game to undo this. If enabled, you can. If disabled, you can't. And launch control, it's the ability to make super starts in drag. I suggest keeping it enabled as it functions like ABS. In my opinion, this is the optimal in-game configuration for playing. This is truly how I play the game. If you want to drift, you absolutely have to disable this. And the rest, well, after that, it's up to you to judge on how you want to set up your game so that it matches well with your player level and what you want to do in the game. With this video, you now have all the essential information about the game. I think we've covered pretty much all aspects. So, obviously, if you have other important tips to share for new players, don't hesitate to put them in the comments. It will always benefit future visitors. Obviously, if this video interested you, I'm counting on you to show it by leaving a little like. Subscribe for upcoming videos referencing this. I'll also do a live discovery of the PS5 versions. We may also test multiplayer to check server stability. If you're interested in participating in multiplayer, let us know. Follow me on Twitch using the link below this video. Feel free to use your Prime to support my channel at no cost to you. I'm ending this video here. I'll see you very soon. Hello everyone, ciao.